theater that I am really attracted to is theater that expresses the true form of collaboration, that has characters that are richly crafted, that I care about. That's the theater that really intrigues me. I guess you sense that when you come to the theater. You know when that has been when it's been a labor of love as opposed to just a job. My name's Lance Brockman. I'm a professor of scene design, and I've been in this department now for 37 years. I went to school in a small liberal arts school in Emporia, Kansas. At that time it was called Kansas State Teachers College. It's now called Emporia State University. I had an extraordinarily good scene design teacher, and he was an incredible role model and mentor. And for me, it was never a question of wanting to be a professional designer per se, but it was to be a teacher of design. It was that sort of passion that I got through him that I inflict on my students on a regular basis. My research interests actually came out of when I came here to interview, and two of our students at that time said, "Well, do you want to go see the showboat?" And I said, "Well, of course." Well, when I walked on the showboat, I fell in love with the space. The part I was disappointed in is that when I looked at the stage, I said, "Yeah, I see that we're doing historically based theater." What I didn't see was on stage the scenery that represented that era. So that sort of started me on a quest. And I went down 2 summers and I painted the Starlight Theater in Kansas City. While I was there was a charge is the person basically who runs the shop, came to me and said, "I've uncovered this large collection of sketches." And he started to bring them in. And when I looked at them, there was a quality of rendering, there was a quality of painting that just wasn't like anything I had seen before. So I said, "Can I buy some of these?" And he said, "Well, sure." And those became my teaching tools. So I started to use those to teach students this sort of historic method. Today what I do is I go around the country teaching drawing and painting for the theater designer, the historic method, based on the collections, based on my research, and of course based on the showboat. On the 50th anniversary of the showboat, we recreated Count of Monte Cristo. It was a great opportunity for me to get down there and paint in front of the students, and for the students to paint with me, which I really did enjoy. I think the best thing that would encourage any student who had this interest is that the Twin Cities is filled with scenic artists that I've trained. So if you go to Children's Theater, you work with Mary Nova Dvorsky, who's the charge there, and I trained her. You go to the Guthrie, you work with Michael Hoover, who's a student I trained. So that's sort of the lineage that I basically think would be a great opportunity. Plus, the beauty of the Twin Cities is this richness. I mean, there is a rich texture in this culture here that gives you all kinds of opportunity to see all kinds of theaters from various perspectives and points of view. And for me, that's the great learning tool. The classroom doesn't stop with the perimeter of this campus. The classroom actually begins on the other side. It's not just in theaters, it's in the museums, and it's in opera, it's in all kinds of exhibit design, it's at the Mall of America. I mean, it's all theatrical. It's a theatrical experience. That's the richness of coming here to the University of Minnesota.